All right, everybody, welcome to the Studying Brew, episode 803. It's so good to be here on this night as we are going to be the hot stepper right into this Thursday. We're going to have a Serious 6. We're going to have that Serious 6 tonight. We're going to have some content. We're going to have test-taking techniques. But first, who are we? Well, we are KonaButterflyz. My name is Andy. I'm the guy that answers all the phone calls, text messages, and general technical support. And I'm also bringing those 80s and 90s hits tonight, apparently. But you're not here for my DJ skills or my technical aspects. You're here for Brandy. She's got her Series 6, 63, 26, 65, and her Series 7, which makes her more than qualified to hang tough and get you those licenses. If you're not on live, you miss all the music right before. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
So this means nothing to you, but we had a great playlist right before. But anyways, thank you all for being here. We're going to have some content. We're going to have techniques. We're going to do it all. We're going to help you guys out and get these securities licenses because we are closing in at the end of the year and we want to get this thing done.
Yes.
For 2024 because you know why?
Why?
Tax season. Tax season. Tax season. You know what comes in with tax season? I mean, besides, everybody's like, oh, I hate tax season. No, you're going to love tax season when you got a securities license because you know why?
Why?
IRAs, Roths, rollovers, 401ks. Oh my. It's like the best Christmas ever. You're just like, you definitely, if you partner up with somebody that that does taxes, woohoo!
Yes, California. I know we're still doing our taxes 5 months later.
No, but still, most of the people and the majority of people, as Brandy has to put in her T here, but yes, the majority of people get going in January and February, so that way they can get this thing done.
Bye.
And
it's a test topic.
Yeah, I know. By April, I didn't want to cut you off. By April, studying's already begun, guys. Look at that. By April, so that way you guys can get these rollovers. And I don't know about you, but after studying and putting in all this time and all this work, I want to get paid. I'm just saying. I want a little commission. You know what I mean? Is that bad? Is that bad?
No,
I don't think it's bad. I'm doing the right thing. I'm helping people out. I need, Papa needs some new shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then kids take all the money for all the other shoes. You know what I mean? But no. But seriously, it is time. It is to get this. Last night we talked about it, debunking the whole SIE and having to pay fees when it comes to the end of December. If you pass your SIE, there is no fees to pay. That's not a license. SIE is not a license. Don't worry about it. And you just go right into the January.
Yeah.
Go get your Series 6. That's all. The other thing I would want to say is, guys, after you pass your SIE, that is when you have to go and apply for your U4. The SIE is, or your whatever, the actual licenses. If you're not in Primerica, I mean, you could go other ways. But once you get your SIE done, that's when you actually get a license. That's when you have to put in your federal, application to your federal government, and they see if you're, you check out. If you haven't done anything, make sure that you haven't done anything, bad.
Pretty much.
If you can handle money, if you haven't stolen money, right? You don't look like the Hamburglar, right? Things like that. They do. I know there's some people are like, who? I know, right? These kids today, they don't even get the Hamburglar or Ronald McDonald or any of those stuff. Fry Guys.
Anyway. They were my favorite.
I know. But no, seriously, they take your fingerprints and, they do their whole process, their background, checks and all this stuff. So you got to make sure that you're getting all that in and that whole process done, because that takes like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look, and if you take your foot off the gas and you get off the game for whatever reason, you heard somebody in your office said, don't get your 6 this year. Don't start the process. Look, I'm not saying you got to start the process, but you definitely don't want to stop doing the SIE, and you want to be rolling right as January comes in. You want to submit that U4, go whoop, right in.
Yes.
Because the government, it sleeps during December, half of December.
Yeah, they shut down during December, just like schools do.
Yeah, and so you know how the government works. They work very slow. You want to make sure everything's in order and you're ready to go. Like you are ready to go. You're like a paratrooper ready to jump out the plane. You know what I mean? Right into action. You don't want to stop because you take your foot off the gas, momentum leaves you. Momentum is jealous. She goes to somebody else. Next thing you know, you're like 3 to 4 or 5 weeks, 4 or 5 months out.
True.
And it's like, oh man, I should have just stayed in it. I'm telling you guys.
Guys, this time of year and January, February are probably like the busiest times for these licenses because everybody's trying to either get in before the end of the year or they're setting it up so that way by at the beginning of the year they're just knocking these tests out.
Yeah, so
You might not even get the date you want if you wait too long.
Yeah, not a problem. Just do it. Let's go. Just get it done.
Get done.
Don't stop. I'm going to be saying this all throughout the next 2 months because people take their dang foot off the gas. And then in January, February, people are crying. Like, I didn't know it was going to take me off my game. I should have listened to you. I should have heard you out. Like, look, guys, all these years, all these different experiences, all these different pastors we've had. I'm telling you right now, the worst thing you can do is stop.
That's true.
Just keep going. Just keep going. That's it. Let's get to it. If you haven't studied with us and you haven't joined our membership, this is our free. This is our 30 minutes of fun. This is our free. This is where we make it, a little bit of content, little bit of techniques. But if you want more of how we teach and you love the vibe and you're like, I can actually learn from that and it doesn't sound so foreign, look, same price as like going to McDonald's for a family of like what, 2 or 3. You can join in on this thing, get a month's worth of access content, get your pass notice, get on the way to making it have a real asset instead of a liability when you go eat somewhere, right? Or, as some people do those boot camps for like a weekend, like 3 days, and all you get is someone reading a book to you over the weekend. Guys, for the same price, you get like small group tutoring, you get a book, you get the course material, you get videos, you get audios, you get live sessions, you get a community to join. All that stuff is all included. Check it out. Watch what we got going on the orientation. Scan the QR code. Hit the links in the chat. We got 866-8KONA. That's where you can reach me at. If you want to go get those study guides individually, you can do that as well. All that stuff is found on that QR code or hit my link tree. You can also reach out to me on Telegram. That's another place, or that phone number. All right, we got a live session happening tomorrow. We got the Series 63. It's basically what, cybersecurity and ethics, right? Or something like that.
That's right. We're just wrapping up the rest of ethics and we're going to hit on some cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity is the way of the future. I know there's a lot of people that are like, Andy, you guys got a lot of technical stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be good at computers and technical. I'm like, listen, do you think the world is going away from technology or towards technology? Do you think in the next 5 years we'll have less technology or more technology? Do you think we're going to be doing business more over technology or less? Do you think we're going to bring out the clipboards and the paper? Do you think the pins and the paper and we're going to use the post office as our main source of way of getting paid and doing our business? No, it's going towards technology. So as we learn all this stuff and as the government gets towards it, we got to learn that cybersecurity. And if you have an issue with technology, you got to start embracing it. You got to really start getting comfortable with it. Get yourself maybe in a college correspondence course or something. You got to get yourself to like where you just are going to have to just learn how to adapt.
That is true.
One of the greatest features of the human is the ability to adapt.
That is also true.
So don't rob yourself of one of your greatest God-given abilities, which is adaptation. But
right.
I heard that today, and someone was talking about something. They're like, to not adapt is almost going against a blessing. I was like, pretty good.
That's deep.
Yeah, I was like, let me think about that.
I like that.
So anyways, we got that Series 63, 8 a.m. in Hawaii, 11 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Mountain, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. in the East, and we'll be rocking that.
And just a quick announcement for those of us in Hawaii and Arizona, right? Arizona. Daylight savings time ends this weekend, so watch out for those 2 time adjustments. Well, it's a time adjustment for us, but not you, but it's weird. So just look out for the time.
I can't remember what it is. I think Arizona is either on the same time as us.
I think
right now.
Yes.
And then now they will be an hour ahead.
Right. And then Hawaii is 3 hours behind us. They are going to only be 2.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Why do we do this still? I have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
Trust me, guys. We talked about it at length yesterday.
After the brew, we can talk about it more.
Try.
Write to politicians. Can we stop this
nonsense?
All right, let's go.
All right.
That's all I got to say about that before I go down a
yes,
a dark hallway of.
We're gonna seriously
Get after the Series 6 because we got the SIE, the 6, 63, 26, 65, and Series 7. We got set 6 exams to go over.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have questions. We're going to have answers. We're going to get content. We're going to get some techniques. We're going to throw it all at you right now. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say? You want to preface this before we get into this?
Just a little bit, guys. So what I tend to do is I tend to try to find a question regarding something that we studied in the last week or two.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing. So basically, all the questions should be something that if this is your test, it's something that should sound familiar to you. If it's not your test, you get to learn something.
Yes.
And we are going to use techniques.
All right.
You guys ready?
Sounds good.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. So answers first. And I see numbers, right? I see 100%, which is the highest, right? 75, which is the lowest. I have a 90 and a 95, so I have them both start with 9s. I have these two both start with 5s. Now, here's the thing that I want you guys to start thinking about when you guys see numbers.
And I know there's people on here that for the first time they're like, "Does she just do that with the numbers? Like just flip there's a 5?"
Yeah, I did. I did. But here's what I want you guys to start doing. When you guys see numbers, start thinking about what these numbers may seem familiar to. So here's what I'm going to say. When we see 90%, I think that whole regulated thing, conduit, pipeline, whatever, right? And when I see 75, I think this is that REITs thing. Now,
so if I'm studying this, I would write that down. That is some key words right there. So as you're doing your quizzes or even on the real exam, if I had 75 in the answers, I'm like, ooh, I bet you the question's about a REIT. And I would confirm it. And then if I lean towards that way and I'm like, oh, that might be the answer. And I have no clue. Why not?
And 75 and a quarter. Oh yeah, 75. Yeah, that's like 3/4 of 100. But yeah, so that's what, guys, when we talk about keyword connections, this is like one of those pieces. It's like that's familiar. And if you guys noticed what I wrote here, let me write it a little bit clearer so you guys can see what I said here. I said this REITs thing. I didn't say exactly what it was. I just said REITs thing. Make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know what it did. I just remember she talked about it today. Do you guys see that? She
right.
talked about it today. Okay, you guys ready for the question? Boom, boom. How much of a REIT's gross income must be related to real estate related income? Do you think maybe it could be that REIT thing?
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
And I know there's people putting in there, well, it's 75%. What if you can't remember? What if you didn't know that? Right? What if you went on here and you did it the same basic pedestrian way of answering questions and you read questions first, you don't listen to anything we do because it's weird, and you're like, oh, okay, now which one is it? 175, 95, 100? Then you get all confused. Then you lose sight. And then guess what? You're reading it again, and then you're racking your brain then you're praying, and you look for the ceiling drop of the answer.
The answers aren't on the ceiling, guys.
No.
Nobody went up on the ceiling and wrote your answer.
No. They're on the screen.
They are on the screen. Let me do this.
Isn't that funny? We look to the ceiling when the answers are really right in front of you on the screen.
Mm-hmm. I used to do it. I call it air thinking. All right, guys, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to approach the question and then the answers first. I'm going to show you guys how weird it is. Okay. This is what we tend to do when we see the question first. If a mutual fund purchaser, and you're probably thinking, okay, let me see. What do I remember about mutual funds? Signs a letter of intent. Ooh, that's that letter of intent. In order to take advantage of a breakpoint discount. How long does he have to buy enough shares to reach the breakpoint? 90 days, 9 months, 13 months, 25 months. Hold on, wait, what are we talking about again? The mutual fund purchase. You guys see what we're doing? Yeah.
How many times have you guys reread the question over and over and over again? Because by the time you read through the answers, you forgot what you're even looking for.
Now,
shoot, I do that with my car keys.
Yes. What I do is go, okay, that's a quarter, right? 90 days, quarter, 3 months, right? I'm going to say, I do know we're talking about letter of intent, but I might even go LOI back, right? 9 months, this is that 270 days. This is usually like those money market things, like the things inside of a money market. Because we are, a little bit of content. 13 months, that's that LOI forward thing. And then 25 months, huh?
Never.
I've never heard of that. Okay. So then already, look at this. Already, now that I have my keywords out there, I see the LOI and I see the LOI.
Now am I going backwards or forward?
Now I'm like, mutual fund purchaser. Oh, that letter of intent. Boom, boom. Take advantage of the breakpoint. How long does he have to buy? Well, we're not going backwards. So we're going forwards 13 months. Guys, that is exactly why we do answers.
And I know some people have like memorized that, and that's great and all.
Which you should, because
Which
there's
you should.
things that you can't
You have to memorize.
technique out.
Yeah, you have to memorize and you have to know some stuff. But do you see the difference in how you can shortcut this a little bit by just making a nice little note card? 13 months forward LOI.
Yeah.
90 days, 3 months LOI. That's the other way, right?
Mhm.
That's it. Then you just write that out, or you just remember it easier. And then you just look for these questions and the answers. That's it. That's all you need to remember. You don't need to go crazy.
What looks familiar?
And then it makes it a lot easier.
Exactly.
By the way, if you want those keywords, we have it in our study guides available. Go ahead and hit the link in the chat.
That is true. All right. So I have testimonial, endorsement, third party rating, and not an advertisement. So the testimonial, this is the 63. So the testimonial, I remember this has to be like a client, right?
Yeah.
Like a client gives a testimonial. An endorsement is something that you pay for, right? It's a paid ad.
Pam, and the stain was gone.
Yeah. Third party rating, I'm just gonna go okay. Like I don't really know. And then not an advertisement, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna tell myself, look for not an ad. And guys, would I write that on my paper, look for not an ad? No, but that's what my brain is thinking. Okay.
Right.
My brain's thinking, look for that.
It's not a commercial.
No. All right. A financial journalist writes a blog post describing the benefits and services of a particular keyword. Federal covered advisor for a small fee.
Ooh, got paid.
Got paid. Got paid. Pay for it, right? This would be considered which of the following under the marketing rule. Now, some of you are like, well, can we even do that? That's not the question. The question is not, can we even do that? The question is you just got paid.
You got paid to endorse. That's it.
That's the biggest difference.
Reading the question with intent.
Right.
Read the question with intent. That's what reading the answers do.
Mhm.
They help you read the question with intent. You look now for just the dot to dot, the adult dot to dot, as I like to call it, and boom.
And yes, guys, testimonials and endorsements we might use them as like, same difference.
No,
but
they're not.
They're not. Not in testimonial.
No.
Yeah. Total debt divided by total assets, capital expenditures minus non-cash depreciation, share price divided by earnings per share, and shares outstanding times stock price. So.
Oh, minus and a multiple to divide.
Right? Yeah, and we've got the we got the subtract. Okay, so this is what I teach in our live sessions. When you guys see divide, and we're talking about math formulas here.
Yeah.
You think ratio.
Yes.
When you guys see minus, think net. Those are like the two biggest hints I have for people who don't like math.
And for more hints like that, join us for our members. Scan the QR code, hit the link in the chat.
Right? What is the formula for market capitalization? There's no ratio. There's no net. I forgot. I circled price in both C and D, so these two are opposite, right? Or similar. And if you notice, so there's no nets or there's no ratio. So I bet you it's that.
It's the multiple. By the way, it's the only one going forward. The others are all removing.
Oh, that's true.
When you divide, you take away. When you subtract, you take away. Multiply, we do what? We add.
Yeah.
That was the big difference right there, too. D is different.
D is different. Ooh, that's deep. All right, 26. The securities were delivered on the settlement date. Securities were delivered to the purchaser and, your favorite word, 100% of payment was paid. Hold on. Securities were delivered to the purchaser and 100% of payment was paid both before the settlement date. 100% of the payment was made on the settlement date. 50% of the payment was made on the settlement date for a security bought on margin. So I was looking at this question and I'm like, oh, I hate these questions. I said it. I said it.
Mhm.
I said it. But
See, I would have tapped out on B just because it had and I would have
true.
been. I know it's probably not the right way to do this, but if I didn't know anything, I would write one with and.
Look, guys, if you're taking a quiz, like this is what I'm going to say. If you're taking a quiz, I would seriously do what Andy just said. Like, I don't really care if I'm right or wrong. I just want an answer.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm taking my full quiz because I'm practicing taking practicing taking the full exam, I'm going to spend a little extra time.
Yeah.
So,
And then I'm gonna figure out if I'm right and why right
yeah.
or why wrong.
And I'm going to note that says an and. I'm going to note that that's 100 and that's 100. I'm going to note that that's a 50. And I'm going to note that A has no number.
That is true. That's a different.
And I'm also going to note that the fact that there's nothing about money in A as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So A is different
Ooh, sometimes it could be a good to be different.
sometimes. So, according to the SEC, which of the following would not be enough to constitute a completed purchase? Guys, listen. If you are constantly skipping the nots and the except,
Yes.
that was me. You got to pay attention to what's happening in your answers because when you guys see one that's different like that, chances are it's a not or an accept.
I'll give you an analogy. It is almost like having if you watch football, it's like being a wide receiver right at the 2-yard line. You get a ball thrown to you wide open. You catch it, and then you tripped on your shoelace right before you hit the touchdown. That knot is just the difference of you scoring a touchdown and you just making a highlight reel for falling down.
Right.
All that studying and you lost it because of a knot.
Yes. Guys, I was the queen. The queen of not seeing the knots or the accept.
Not an accept get you every time.
Or being excited because I thought I knew the answer. Well, B definitely sounds like it's a completed purchase. That was money and the delivery, and it says and. Ah, dang it. It said not. And you're right. This is not content related. This is looking at what is on the screen. Has nothing to do. This question has nothing to do with content.
It's look, I know that a lot of people just want to learn content. They want to learn why an option and a call. Look, you can learn all those options and calls and puts all you want. Fill it all in your brain and then lose it because you did miss the not and an accept. It had nothing to do with any of the options at all.
Yeah.
And not get the pass.
Yeah.
Look, we're trying to help you guys get that extra little edge.
Just a little one.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah. An international banking institution. A person engaged in the business of effecting securities transactions in other people's account or for their own account. That's very long. Whew. Long one.
Yeah, and you need a sack lunch to get through that one.
Yep. None of the choices listed, or a corporation raising capital through the issuance of debt or equity securities. Okay, so let's get it down to some keywords. I have a banking institution. I have effecting securities transactions.
International bank, by the way.
That's true. I have none, and then I have raising capital, right? So I'm looking at banking, effecting, none, or raising capital.
Well, the other thing too I see is a person, a corporation, and a bank. So 2 institutions, I guess, or entities, and then just one's a person.
Yes.
I don't know if that means anything, but those other observations.
It is another observation. So you're saying that this one could be different.
It's just the person.
An individual is required to register as a broker-dealer or an associated person if they are, well, if I'm a broker-dealer, I'm not banking. If I'm a broker-dealer, I'm not raising capital. But if I'm a broker-dealer, I'm effecting securities transactions.
I'm just a person. If you're playing the technique game like Andy, person, individual, game over. Add a little content in there to make sure. There you go.
I wish that I could tell give the gift to every one of you to look at your quizzes differently. I really wish I could, because guys, I was not a good test taker. Not a good test taker. I was the person that was going content first. I was the read the question 5 times. I was the overthinker, second guesser. That's me. But once I started seeing past that stuff and I started looking at this question right here, my scores immediately jumped up to passing scores. I went from 40s and 50s to 70s and 80s.
Some people really have a tough time are the same people who get a text message and the text back says fine, and they go like this for hours. What do they mean by fine? They fine what? Fine what? Fine what? Is that really fine? I don't know what they mean by fine. Like, they read into so much in the word fine. In reality, it was just like, okay,
I'm fine.
I'm fine. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Putting your spin on it. Quit looking into things that are not even there. Don't add any more content than's needed. Just pay attention. Do you see? I just got the last one, just paying attention. Individual, a person. Okay, that's it. Meanwhile, somebody on here probably was thinking about the whole laws and regulations and do they need. Meanwhile, I'm just skating by going, oh, it's a person and an individual. All right, moving on.
Guys, keywords, not understandings. Keywords plus techniques plus positive mental attitude gets you the pass every time.
Every time. Every time. Don't overcomplicate. And this weekend, that's your homework from us. I want you guys to make sure that you keep a positive mental attitude towards this stuff. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Don't be reading more into it. Just look at what's on the screen. Just read exactly what's on the screen. Answer what's exactly on the screen. And don't trip over a nod or an accept. That's what you don't want to do. So be conscious of that.
Yes.
Most importantly this weekend, stay consistent. Do not stop. Consistency, 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 consistency. Not perfection, not mastery. Just be consistent. That's it.
That's it.
That's all you got to do.
That's it.
All right, everybody. We'll see all you members. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you on Sunday. We'll be back for everybody on the Studying Brew Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel. We hope to see you all there. Stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. And keep that positive mental attitude. PMA, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thank you guys so much for being on. We super appreciate you. Remember, practice keeping it simple in your quizzes tonight and through the weekend. We will see you guys next time. Have a great one.